Yo, what is going on, guys? This is Wormpal, the coach of the Stavanger Vikingvolts, and welcome back to our week 2 battle in the UDN. Last week we picked up a win against Retro. This week we are facing off against Ollie and his Basel Bastiodons, one of the owners of the league, so please go check out his YouTube channel. Link is in the description. Quickly before I start the video, I've been a little sick the last few days, so I apologize if I will be coughing in the video or if my voice sounds a little different. And as you can see on the screen, this is another showdown replay. Again, I was going to do a live comp, but it got pretty late, so I decided to just battle and record post comp. And I will probably just do post comps for the rest of the season because they are a lot easier to do, and I probably play quite a lot better if I don't have to comment the battle at the same time. So that is that. If you are wondering what Pokemon and what sets we brought, I highly recommend you to go check out the team builder video, which I uploaded yesterday or earlier today, depending on your time zone. As you can see on the screen, we brought Lucario, Starmie, Salamence, Tangrowth, Mega Diancie, and Rotom Heat, while our opponent brought Weavile, Mega Alakazam, Sylveon, Entei, Landorus Eye, and Rotom Fan. So pretty much what I expected, but one thing I quickly noticed is that he did not bring his Cobalion, which really surprised me, and I was pretty happy about that because I thought Lucario would be a really good, would have a really good matchup against him, since he does not have a single resist to my extreme speed. And yeah, that's that. I decided to lead with my Starmie because it has pretty good matchup against most of his Pokemon. He leads with his Rotom Fan, which is like the only Pokemon on his team that I will not stay in against. And I do have a tendency to overlook a lot of low tier Pokemon like this Rotom Fan. And as you can see on my team, I don't really have any very good ways to deal with this Rotom. But I do have one Pokemon that resists both of its stab attacks, which is my own Rotom. So I switch into that while he clicks the Volt Switch, which was just a very safe play since I didn't have any ground types on my team. He goes Entei here. Entei can have super effective coverage for everything on my team except for the Starmie, so I switch into that. I'm not trying to make any predictions yet. Click Stone Edge, which does 68%, that's very much. By that I can tell that he is Choice Banded. So I stay in and fire off a Hydro Pump while he switches into his Sylveon. And here I think I switch back into the Rotom Heat because it is my only Fairy resist. He sets up a Wish. Here I believe I click Toxic and I miss, which is pretty unfortunate. He clicked Hyper Voice there, probably predicting me to be faster than him and Volt Switch into something else. But I have the lagging tail, so he is faster than me. Here next turn I predicted him to predict the Toxic again, so I went for a Volt Switch to, get some momentum on this Mega Alakazam. Here I switch into my special defensive Assault Vest Tangrowth, and I click Earthquake, predicting him to go into Entei, which was a good play. It was around half to this Entei, and here I was 90% sure he would go for a Fire type move like Sacred Fire or Flare Blitz. So I switch into my Mega Diancie, and since I know that he is banded, I can safely stay in and set up my Stealth Rocks. He switches into his Sylveon, and here comes the tech. I click Skill Swap, getting rid of his Pixelate, so now his Hyper Voices will do very little damage since they are no longer Fairy type. As you can see here, Hyper Voice only does 15%. With a turn, I went for skill swap. He set up a wish, so the turn after, I didn't want him to wish pass into his Entei, so I clicked Earth Power to try to stop that. But he didn't make that dumb play, so he stayed in and took the wish for his own Sylveon. But since this Sylveon doesn't have Piglet, I can get a pretty free switch into my Lucario or my Salamence. I chose Salamence. Here I set up a substitute, predicting him to go Weavile. Since I am pretty safe behind the substitute, he breaks my sub with Ice Shard, while I decide to kill this Weavile with my Sea Fly. Salamence picking up the first kill of the battle. Pretty nice. He switches into his Sylveon here, and even though I am at +1 attack, I still can't really do much to him. So I switch out into my Tangrowth. Here I think I click knock off just to knock off something on his team, while he sets up a wish. And again, I didn't want him to wish pass into Entei, so I click Earthquake here. But again, he doesn't fall for that, so he switches into his Landorus to take that Earthquake. He knocks off my Assault Vest while I click Hidden Power Ice, doing very solid damage to this Landorus. And here next turn, I thought he would go for a Sludge Wave or a Sea move maybe, so I switched into my Rotom Heat to maybe take that. And he does go for this Sea Fly, which does only 36%, but Rotom does still drop to his Stone Edge. But since I know he's not Scarfed, Mega Diancie can very easily revenge kill him. So, and here he makes a big mistake, switches into his Sylveon, which is in range of a 2-hit KO from my Mega Diancie. So he just took a turn of Stealth Rock and a Moonblast from my Mega Diancie for no reason, and then here he just switches back into his Landorus to sack it off. So we got a pretty good start, played well until here, but this is where everything starts going horribly wrong. He switches into his Mega Alakazam, and now that my Tangrowth no longer has its Assault Vest, we don't have any monster that can take attacks from this Mega Alakazam very well. And here I just make a terrible play. I switched into my Tangrowth. I knew that without the Assault Vest I couldn't live 2 Psychics, but I still switched into Tangrowth for some reason. I really don't know what I was thinking. Psychic does 64%, which is like the easiest 2-hit KO of his whole life. But that's not all. When I switch in my Tangrowth, I let him trace my Regenerator ability. So when his Mega Alakazam switches out, he will be at almost full health, which really sucks. And here I try to go Lucario and kill him with Extreme Speed, but he does realize that he has the Regenerator ability, so he switches out into his Rotom Fan. And as you can see from this Extreme Speed damage, that is a very physically defensive Rotom Fan. I was not prepared for that, and I really don't have any good ways to deal with that on my team, since my Mega Diancie does not have a Rock type move. I go Salamence here because if you look at his team, I can't really do much to him anymore. Only thing is maybe hit like Entei with Earthquakes, but I have other mods to deal with Entei. So I kinda just wanted to sack my Salamence here, but as you will see shortly, that was a very big mistake going into the Salamence, because he can Volt Switch into his Sylveon. Even though I'm at +1 attack, I'm burned, so I cannot kill his Sylveon in one hit. So he goes for a Wish here, trying to heal himself back up. And here I was sure that he would click Protect the next turn, but in case he didn't, I clicked Earthquake to cover the switch into Entei, because again I didn't want him to Wish Pass into that. And I also looked at a calc. Earthquake had like a 60 to 70% chance to kill this Sylveon, so I was willing to take that risk. But his Sylveon does survive at 2%, and he did not click protect, he just straight up attacked me with Hyper Voice, which takes me down to 10%, which means that I will die to the next attack because of Life Orb. So that was just a very big misplay by me. I should have just clicked Meteor Mash. And as you can see this turn, he clicks Protect to scout for the Meteor Mash. And he sees that I do have it, so he switches out into his, I don't remember, Rotom I think. I wanted to keep my Lucario for the Alakazam maybe. But yeah, I have no reason to keep Salmons here, so I just sacked it off. And after that misplay with Lucario, I kind of just lost all hope. Didn't really see any way for me to win this game. So I go Lucario here, I click Extreme Speed, hoping for a crit maybe. As you can see, 56%. If that Alakazam hadn't gotten the Regenerator health, it would have died to that Extreme Speed. Here I switch into my Choice Scarf Starmie. I do outspeed him and I kill him, which I was predicting him to maybe switch out into Rotom or something. But he stays in, lets me kill his Mega Alakazam. So I kinda got a little hope back for just a second, but then I realized I can't kill his Sylveon, which is what he switches into. So I go Mega Dancy here. Only thing I can hope for is like a lot of crits. Try to skill swap him to lower the damage of his Hyper Voice, but his last move is Hate Power Steel. Kills my Mega Dancy, so that was great prep by him, having him Power Steel. So yeah, Starmie can't kill his Sylveon, so that is GG. We get a 3-0 loss against Ollie. This was a divisional match, which was pretty important because we play Ollie later in the season. But yeah, that was a pretty good match. I think we played well until like turn 20, where we made the massive mistake of switching in our Tangrowth on his Mega Alakazam. I don't know what I was thinking there. And then after that we made a lot of other misplays by letting him switch his Sylveon in on our Salmons and clicking Earthquake with our Lucario on his Sylveon. I think what I probably should have done the turn I sent in my Tangrowth was instead just sacrifice my Salmons or something, since it did so little against his team. And then the next turn switch in Tangrowth after he killed my Salmons, because then I live a hit and then I can just kill his Alakazam with Power Whip or something if he stays in. But yeah, that was pretty bad played the second half of the game by me. We also got a little unlucky a few times, like on turn 5 I believe, where we clicked Toxic with our Rotom Heat on his Sylveon. He avoided it, and as you can see he didn't have Heal Bell on his Sylveon, so that Toxic would have been really useful. Could have changed a lot in the game. And we also got a pretty low roll with the Earthquake from our Lucario. But Ollie still played really good. I'm not trying to take that away from him, and it was a very well deserved win for him. So yeah, that loss puts us at 1-1, -1 differential. So we are currently tied for second place in our division. But we are only 1 differential point behind first place, so we can definitely take back the lead if we play well in future weeks. Again, check out Ollie's YouTube channel, link is in the description. Hope you enjoyed the battle. Next week we are playing against U-Turned, so I hope you are looking forward to that. But until next time, goodbye.